I love New Jersey, and I'm thrilled to be back right here in the Garden State. The Garden State. Together, we're achieving historic victories for New Jersey families. You see it every single day. The New Jersey unemployment rate has reached the lowest of all time. More people are working today in the state of New Jersey than ever before. And I have to tell you, more people, almost 160 million, are working right now in the United States. That's the highest level of employment in the history of our country. And a lot of countries aren't doing so well, just so you understand. Tomorrow, we will replace the NAFTA nightmare, one of the worst trade deals ever in history, with the incredible brand new U.S.-Mexico-Canada agreement, the USMCA, a massive win for New Jersey workers, New Jersey farmers, New Jersey union people, New Jersey manufacturers, and everybody. And weeks ago, we also signed a fantastic new trade agreement with China that will boost New Jersey exports and defend New Jersey jobs. $250 billion coming in. Oh, that's going to be so nice. And we're restoring America's industrial might like never before. They're all coming back. They want to be where the action is. After years of devastating defense cuts, we have fully rebuilt the United States military. And thanks to the incredible courage of our warriors, the greatest warriors in the world, the ISIS caliphate has been totally destroyed, and its savage founder and leader, al-Baghdadi, is dead. Weeks ago, at my direction, the U.S. military launched a flawless precision strike that killed the world's #1 terrorist, Qasem Soleimani. And Soleimani was responsible for murdering and wounding thousands of Americans and actively planning new attacks, but we stopped him cold. Yet Washington Democrats like crazy Bernie Sanders and nervous Nancy Pelosi, they opposed our action to save American lives. They oppose it. They oppose it. You know the roadside bombs that you see hurting our people and lots of other people so badly? The legs, the arms wiped out. No legs, no arms. Soleimani loved that. That was his weapon of choice. We didn't like him. He's not around anymore. While we are creating jobs and killing terrorists, the congressional Democrats are obsessed with demented hoaxes, crazy witch hunts, and deranged partisan crusades. It's all they know how to do. The do-nothing Democrats. They have spent the last 3 years, and probably even before I came down on that beautiful escalator with our beautiful future First Lady, trying to overthrow the last election, and we will make sure that they face another crushing defeat in the next election. We are going to have a victory that's even greater than 2016. This November, we are going to win back the House. We are going to hold the Senate, and we are going to keep the White House. The American people are disgusted by the Washington Democrat wish, and you see it, Which is worse, the impeachment hoax or the witch hunts from Russia? But we're going to be signing up millions and millions of registered independents, Democrat voters, and today I had the best polls that I've ever had since being elected. The best we've ever had. Remember, I used to go over polls, but I only used to talk about them when I was doing well. Otherwise, we had our best polls. Americans of all political beliefs are sick and tired of the radical, rage-filled left socialists. I never saw anything. What's going on in this country? What's going on in this country? The Democrat Party is the Socialist Party, and maybe worse. Voters are making a mass exodus from that party, and we are welcoming them to the Republican Party with wide open arms. And the Republican Party is doing great. We are privileged to be joined tonight by a courageous leader who left the Democrat Party because he has had enough of their extremism, enough of their socialism, and enough of their vile hoaxes and scams. He's had enough. I'll tell you, he really is. He's a brave guy. He just said, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. It's a hoax. It's a scam. I'm not doing it. And we called him, you know, you're a rock kind of guy. Let's go. And it didn't take much because he believes like we do. We are truly honored to be here with the newest Republican member of the House of Representatives, your great Congressman, Jeff Van Drew. And I have to tell you, a few weeks ago, Jeff was one of the few brave and principled Democrat lawmakers, in all fairness, we've been after him for a long time, who stood up to the House Democrats and the outrageous abuse of power that you see going on right now. They can't win an election, so they're trying to steal an election. It's not happening, folks. It's not happening. And Jeff had the guts to defy the left-wing fanatics in his own party and to stand tall in defense of our Constitution, our freedom, and democracy itself. And I just want to, I have to tell you, I've gotten to know him really well over the last couple of weeks. He's a great guy. He's a brave guy. He shares our values. He supports lower taxes. Not bad. They want to raise your taxes. How did that work, Jeff? How did you get elected with that one? Less regulation, a strong national defense. He loves our military, loves our vets and police, and he is a tireless champion for the state of New Jersey. He loves your Second Amendment, which is under siege by the Democrats. Jeff, it's an honor to be with you, please.
Now, how about having the president right here in South Jersey? What a great day! Now, I heard that the folks in this room can make more noise and more applause than anywhere in the world. So we're going to do one more time for this man right here. Now, when I was in the White House with the president, he asked how he could help me. I asked if he could come down to South Jersey and have a rally. Without even hesitating, our president said yes, and he is here, a man who kept his word to ensure that the eyes of the world are on South Jersey and all of us. The USA is a great nation, the greatest nation that civilization has ever known. Do we want to keep it that way? It's a nation and a people of great exceptionalism. Do we want to keep it that way? Our president has made it clear by restoring our military, protecting our economy, and by not allowing any other nation to ever take advantage of us again. Do we want to keep it that way? This very year is a flashpoint election. Are we going to allow ourselves just to be like any other nation in the world, or are we going to keep America great? I say to all of you, may God bless South Jersey, may God bless our president, and may God bless the United States of America.
So, we have tens of thousands of people outside. If anybody would like to give them your place, please let us know. But we have thousands and thousands, tens of thousands, and Jeff gave me a number. He said 175,000 people signed up. Is that a fact?
That's a fact.
175? I think he's on his way. Thank you, Jeff. Great job. Thank you, Jeff. Thank you, Jeff. So it's been a little bit of a story. You see the fakers back there? Fake news. You know, if another candidate has 1,000 people, they say he spoke to a massive crowd. If they have 10,000, like Pocahontas went into Central Park in New York. And this young man in the front row could have 10,000 people, you know that, in Central Park. So she had 10,000 people, like in Central Park. And I said, what's the big deal? They made it, oh, the crowds are so large. So Jeff just told you had 175,000 people sign up. And seriously, you have to see outside. They know because they have to follow. They're trailers. I call them trailers. But they're fake. They're fake. They're not honest. Let me just tell you. So here's the story. So we have these massive crowds that fill up stadiums every single time. We have tens of thousands of people outside. They never mention it. They never mention it. So maybe they will tonight. But that's an all-time record, and this is not a brand new place, and unfortunately it holds probably 10,000 people or less, and we set the all-time record. You know why? Because for games, see the floor packed with people? For games, you're playing ice hockey or basketball. So we broke the all-time record in this house, and it's a wonderful house and a wonderful community. Also in Wildwood, like we're in the middle of winter, there is nobody in the middle of winter, and it's a great place in the summer, and those streets are packed all the way back to the airplane practically. So. But on June 2nd, everybody has to do us all a favor Number one, you have to get out and vote Republican. Get rid of these clowns. And you have to get out and vote for really a brave man. What he did was incredible. Jeff Van Drew, what he did was incredible. Get out and vote. He's going to have a big victory. He's going to have a big victory. And we're grateful to have with us this evening some wonderful friends of mine, people that I've known forever. Your former governor who did a terrific job, Chris Christie. Chris. Great, Chris. Great job. Your wonderful Republican state chairman, Doug Steinhardt. What a job he's doing. Thank you, Doug. Thank you, Doug. My campaign's two great New Jersey co-chairs, and I think we'll play for the state. You know, they all say Republicans can't win. Tell me why. They said, should you move this to the Meadowlands? I said, no, I want to be in South Jersey. We want to be with our friends. But we could have filled up the Meadowlands Arena 2 or 3 times. Maybe we'll do it during the summer. Should we do it during the summer? But two brave guys, two great politicians, people that love our state, State Senators Mike Testa and Joe Panuccio. Joe Panuccio. Thank you, Joe. Thank you. Thank you. And two incredible New Jersey natives. You've never heard of Kellyanne Conway, have you? And Bill Stepien.
And I love you back. Mr. President, I think South Jersey is Trump country. Mr. President, thank you for all you've done to add respect and resources to our military, to our great veterans, having the best economy in the world, 2 new trade deals, 2 Supreme Court justices, 2 dead terrorists. That's 2 terms. South Jersey's my home. Donald Trump's my president. Melania Trump's my first lady. Life is great, everyone. God bless you.
Thank you, Kellyanne. So I just want to thank Republicans because what they've been doing is incredible. Republican leadership in this country, we're winning, winning, winning like never before. We're winning again. And we've got a party that's a very different party, a much stronger party, a much more inclusive party. We have a party that we love. We have a party that has the votes. We have a party like they've never had before. The Republican Party, respected again. And I have to say this, America is winning again, and America is thriving again like never before. So, since the election, we have created 7 million new jobs. The average unemployment rate under my administration is lower than any previous administration, listen to this one, in United States history. That's a good fact, the lowest in history. Thank you, man. We have a great veteran up here, and he's saying, we love you, the veterans. Are we doing good for the veterans? Thank you. African American, Hispanic American, and Asian American unemployment rates have reached the lowest levels ever recorded in the history of our country, ever recorded. Women's unemployment is at a 65-year low. Sorry about that. Soon it's going to be historic. Another couple of good months, it'll be historic. 65 years for women. In the 8 years before I took office, over 300,000 working-age people left the workforce. They had no choice. In just 3 years of my administration, 3.5 million people have joined the workforce. Nobody believes it, including the fake news. If I would have said that during the campaign, that we were going to produce numbers like this, the fake news would have been hitting me. He's exaggerating. He's lying. Pinocchio, Pinocchio. The press is very dishonest. More than 2 million millennials have gotten jobs, and their wages have grown by nearly 5% every year, which is a record. A record number of Americans between the ages of 25 and 34 are now working, another record. Under the Trump economy, the lowest paid earners are reaping the fastest gains of anybody. You don't hear that because this is a blue-collar boom. It's very nice. It's about time. It's about time. It's been many, many decades. Earnings for the bottom 10% are rising faster than earnings for the top 10%. First time ever. Since my election, the net worth of the bottom half of wage earners has increased, listen to this, by 47%, 3 times faster than the increase for the top 1%. Median household income is at an all-time high. For President Bush, in 8 years, it was $450 over 8 years. Think of this for a second. Under President Barack Hussein Obama, for 8 years, it was $975. So 8 years, 450, 975, right? Under your favorite president. And when you include the tax cuts, the regulation cuts, that nobody's ever cut taxes like this, nobody's ever cut regulations, that's why all these jobs are being built. Under President Trump, for 3 years, the number is almost $10,000, and that's 3 years. And it's going up very substantially. That's a big difference. New business applications in New Jersey have just soared to a record high. And we have lifted 10 million people nationwide off federal welfare. They're off. They are off federal welfare. Nobody would have believed these numbers. Someday they're going to write the true story. Our child tax credit alone is delivering $2,200 a year to 40 million American families. And we have ended, so importantly for you, the war on American energy. The United States is now the #1 producer of oil and natural gas anywhere in the world. We don't need anybody else's energy anymore. It's so nice. What happened in the last 3 years with energy is incredible. But extreme liberals in Washington want to shut down U.S. energy, including through the so-called Green New Deal. Close your factories, get rid of your cows. You don't have too many cows in Wildwood, but if you do, they're gone. We will never sacrifice America's energy independence. Took us a long time to get there, and we really picked it up over the last 3 years. What we've done is incredible. Pipelines all over. Pipelines are good. They're underground. They're good, environmentally sound. To lift up forgotten communities that need investment the most. These are the communities that really have suffered. We created, with the help of a great gentleman from the state of South Carolina, you know who I'm talking about? Tim Scott. right? Senator Tim Scott. He's an incredible guy. He really is. He came to my office and he had this idea that he's wanted to do for a long time. Senator Tim Scott, opportunity zones and jobs and investment are now pouring into nearly 170 newly designated opportunity zones right here in New Jersey, all over the United States. Billions and billions and billions of dollars, and not government dollars, they're flowing into the opportunity zones, into areas where investment was dead. And for decades, politicians ran for office promising to protect American workers. But then they went to Washington and they lined their pockets with special interest cash, and they shipped American jobs and dreams to other countries. They closed up your factories. They got rid of your jobs. They didn't have to pay taxes. Globalist politicians lowered our economic defenses and allowed other nations to rob our factories, steal our farms, and ransack our communities. Not anymore. Not anymore, because we are defenseless no more, because at long last, you have a president who puts America first. Is that okay? The United States lost, listen to this number. And if it was wrong, the fake news would be, all over me. And I've been saying it for 3 years. The United States lost 60,000 factories and plants. Think of that. 60, you wouldn't think that's possible. Because of stupid trade deals, because of bad leadership, during the 16 years of the two prior administrations, under just 3 years, my administration has now added 12,000 new factories, and many more are being built, and they're pouring back into the United States, because that's where the action is. That's where they want to be. They are pouring back into our country. New plants and factories, you see them all over. I passed 2 of them coming in. Brand new, beautiful plants and factories. They're pouring back in. This is where the action is. This is where they want to be. I see the leaders. They say it's incredible what happened to your country. I said, don't tell me that. We want you to have your companies build plants in New Jersey and other places, and that's what's happening. But on no issue have Washington Democrats more thoroughly betrayed the American people than the issue of immigration. Left-wing, radical politicians support deadly sanctuary cities. And remember, a sanctuary city is a jurisdiction that refuses to hand over criminal aliens that are in local law enforcement custody. Instead, they order them to be released into your community. What the hell is going on? What is going on? And once set loose, these criminal aliens are free to continue their crime spree against innocent Americans. Right here in New Jersey, your state's Democrat leaders have instituted sanctuary policies that result in dangerous predators being set free into your community. For example, Cumberland County, we all know Cumberland County very well, right? Good luck with this one. They released an illegal alien criminal with multiple charges for sexual assault of a child. He is now at large, free to search for another innocent victim. They didn't want to give him to ICE, and I want to thank ICE because the abuse they take and the incredible job they do. Right here, another criminal alien was arrested for a violent assault. In New Jersey, the sanctuary jurisdiction of Middlesex County defied the ICE request to detain him. Local authorities released him, and he went on to commit a gruesome triple murder. Happens. I could read these cases, honestly. I could read and state these cases to you all night. I could state these cases to you all night. No American should ever be hurt, harmed or killed because left-wing politicians, Democrats, decided to shield and shelter criminal. Look, wait. You have criminals that are on the streets that should be in jail. You have criminals that are on the street that should be taken the hell out of our country and brought back to where they came from. And by the way, ICE has removed thousands upon thousands of MS-13 gang members, the most brutal people. And you don't want to do that job. Maybe you do. A couple of tough people up there. Anybody want to be with ICE? Yeah. You got a lot of tough people in New Jersey. New Jersey's different. I think New Jersey's different. No, but these ICE people, they love our country. They're proud, and they're tough people. And they'll go right into a pack. They call it a pack. And they start swinging, everyone's swinging, and they end up standing up. That's the end of that. And you know what they do? They bring the MS-13 and many other gang members and other members back to El Salvador, back to Honduras, back to Guatemala, back to Mexico. And I want to thank Mexico because the Mexican, you know what's happening, right? Thousands and thousands at this moment, 27,000 soldiers from Mexico protecting our southern border. I want to thank the president. Democrats stand for crime, corruption, and chaos. Republicans stand for law, order, and justice. And say what you want, but those are the facts. And we are removing these illegal criminals and gang members. We are literally taking them by so many, thousands and thousands, and we're bringing them back. And thanks to our tireless efforts of Border Patrol to secure our border, we have reduced illegal border crossings 7 straight months in a row. We have the numbers down by 75% since spring. 75%. And we have ended catch and release. And really, look, I had another party. I could get anything. If I wanted to spend money on anything, look, with the military, we got $2 trillion, right? More. $2 trillion, all made in America, right? Everything, best planes, best missiles, best everything. Made in America. If I wanted to build anything, the only thing, they put the whole weight of their party. They didn't want us to have the wall. They knew it worked. Many of them voted 5 years ago for a wall. They just didn't know how to get it built. I do. But what happened is through a series of court cases and other things, we've won the money is won. And we are now building that beautiful wall. And this powerful border wall is going up at record speed, and we just reached over 100 miles of wall, and by next year we'll be over 400 miles, and shortly thereafter it will be complete. A lot of people were saying a year ago, oh, he didn't build the wall yet, he didn't build the wall. Let me tell you, when you have the strength of a party that has the House, okay? Hopefully they're not going to have the House for long. We'll have a wonderful new speaker. We'll get rid of Nancy Pelosi. Nervous Nancy. Nervous Nancy. We'll have Kevin McCarthy, who's been fantastic. We have to win back the House. But think of this. The wall, so many people were saying, build the wall. Not easy when you have the weight of an entire party and they control the House. Not easy. And we did it. And frankly, we were building the wall through the help of the military, the Army Corps of Engineers anyway. But you know what? Now we actually have the money, and it's going up very rapidly. And in all due respect to Mexico, we like Mexico very much, and we've gotten along great with Mexico, and the president's a friend of mine, and I think he's doing a fantastic job. It's a tough situation. But Mexico is, in fact, you will soon find out, paying for the wall, okay? You know, they'd hit you with that. No, the wall is ultimately and very nicely being paid for by Mexico. And it's an advantage for Mexico, too, when you think about it. The wall is a vital barrier for blocking deadly drugs from pouring into these communities. What we're doing is stopping drugs at a record number. It's still, anything that comes over is too much, but we're blocking it at a record number. And I'm also very proud to report that we won a critical Supreme Court victory yesterday on immigration. We will now be finally able to enforce federal law and ensure that those seeking admission to our country are able to support themselves financially and not abuse taxpayer-funded programs. They were killing our country, killing our country. Washington Democrats have never been more extreme than they are right now. Frankly, they're crazy. These people are crazy. They're taking their cues from socialists like Bernie. Left-wing lawmakers are pushing a government takeover of health care that would strip 180 million Americans of their private health care plans, which many people like. The plans of every Democrat running for president would demolish the economy of New Jersey, where 500,000 new New Jersey workers are employed at some of the best and most innovative healthcare employment companies. We have them working at the companies, and we have people getting great healthcare. It's been so long. It's finally working, and they want to destroy it. The Republican Party will never let it happen. We are saving your healthcare while the Democrats are trying to take away your health care, take away your doctors, take away all of the good care that we fought. And we fought hard, and we're doing well, and now we're doing better. And by the way, sometime prior to the end of the year, we're putting in for a new middle-income tax cut, a very big one. But we're making health care better and much, much cheaper. We've done a great job in running it, and we've given you a lot of alternatives. We are protecting people with pre-existing conditions, and we always will. The Republican Party, pre-existing conditions. We saved it. We are stopping surprise medical billing and making everything transparent. That's a big deal. And that will take effect starting in about 2 months from now. Everything's transparent. You'll be able to see pricing. You'll be able to go and price other hospitals, other doctors. It's going to be an incredible thing. Nobody believes I was able to do it, but we did it. We are defending your right to keep the doctor and the plan of your choice. We are lowering drug prices. The Democrats are increasing drug prices. We are fighting the lobbyists and special interests. We are serving you. And how are we doing? We're doing good, right? But because of price transparency, we are getting it done. We're approving more generic drugs than ever before in the history of our country. That means they come in, frankly, they're just as good as the big names, but they sell for 80% less in some cases. We are unleashing innovation to cure diseases of all kinds. We are cutting out the rich middlemen and delivering prescription drugs directly to the consumers. These are all things that we had to fight like hell to get. We're making less paperwork for your doctors and giving you easy control of your medical records, which is a big deal for a lot of people. We are prohibiting hospitals from hiding their prices and charging hidden costs. You go home, you say, oh, I'm feeling better, the doctor was fantastic, and then they send you a bill for $25,000. That's the end of that. All of a sudden, the doctor wasn't so good, right? We are making companies compete for your business. We are repealing burdensome taxes. We have accomplished more than any president in the first 3 years of their term. By far, not even close. We have provided health insurance options 60% cheaper than Obamacare. And we have historic investments in treating kidney disease, HIV, pediatric cancer, and Alzheimer's disease. We're making so much progress. And we have just passed a thing that I think is great. I never understood. For 45 years, they've been trying to get it passed. We've just passed a thing called right to try. You know what that is? So we have the greatest doctors, the greatest technicians, the greatest labs in the world. And we'll have a drug that's looking good, but it's going to take 5 more years. And by the way, we brought the timing way down from 12 years to half of that. But it takes years to get it approved. You have people that are terminally ill. If they have money, they go to Asia, they go to Europe, they go all over the world looking for help. If they don't have money, they go home and they die. And what we did is a thing called right to try. People sign something and they don't hold the country responsible. They don't hold the drug company responsible. It's called right to try. And they get the newest and the best and the latest medicine where it's looking good, but you're not going to have it for 5 more years. And you know why they didn't do it? Because they didn't want to hurt anybody, except the problem is the people were going to die soon. I said, they're terminally ill. Let them have it. We sat down with a great group of leaders, Republican leaders, and honestly, we had some bipartisan support, and we got it done. They've been trying to do it for 45 or so years. We got it done. And you have to see the results, and I've seen some of the results. Some of the results are incredible. And we've transformed veterans' health care, including through VA Choice, right? VA Choice. For 48 years, they've been trying to get Veterans Choice. I thought I had the greatest secret. You know, I haven't been doing this that long. So 4 years ago, I'm campaigning for president. Everyone said, no, he's only having fun. He's only, some fun. This is a lot of fun, right? But for 45 years, they've been trying to get it, Veterans Choice. So I come back one day, I say to my people, I have the greatest idea. I am so smart. I am like the smart. I have an idea because the veterans are waiting online. They're waiting online for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 10 weeks. Some are okay, and they end up being terminally ill by the time they see their doctors, too long. And I said, folks, I have the greatest idea. All of my people, I say, I have the greatest idea. I'm so smart. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to send all those people that can't see a doctor. We just can't get them to see a doctor. We're going to send them down the road to private doctors, and we're going to pay the bill, and they're going to get fixed up. Right? So smart. But you see, I said I was smart, and they looked back at me and they said, sir, we've known about that concept for 45 years. We just can't get it approved. But I got it approved, and I got it approved about 11 months ago. And the VA is doing fantastically well. Our veterans are doing great. That was a big thing. That was a big thing. We also got accountability, where people could mistreat our veterans, do whatever they want. They could be sadistic. They could be so many other things. They could steal. They could rob. You couldn't do anything. You'd keep them. You couldn't do a thing. We got accountability. Now you look at them, you say, get the hell out of here. You're fired. You're fired. Now you can fire. They've let go of more than 8,000 bad people. We have reduced opioid deaths for the first time and very substantially in 30 years. And we are modernizing critical vaccines. We're doing a great job with vaccines. We are creating a pathway to buy drugs from Canada that are much, much cheaper in Florida. Governor Ron DeSantis came to me. He said, sir, This system is so bad, and you can't fix it unless you have Democrat votes. That's why you got to vote the House. You got to get us back the House. They say, sir, we can buy the drugs in Canada for 50% less, the same drug made in the same factory, made by the same company, 50%, and we can give the benefit for the people that live in Florida or Colorado or New Jersey or wherever you want. And no president, this has been going on for a long time, no president has wanted to do it. You know how long it took me to make that decision? I said, if you can save 50% or 25% or 15%, buy it, do it, go. And I gave them authorization. Do it. And we are protecting Medicare for our nation's seniors. Democrats want, and you know this, Democrats want to raid Medicare to fund benefits for illegal immigrants. And you know, we all have a heart, but we all have a heart, but when you tell people to come into our country, like this clown governor of California, come into our country, come, they're all going to come. If they think they're going to get free education, free health care, they're all going to come. If you don't say it, they're not going to come because they wouldn't even think, who would even think this? Virtually every top Democrat also now supports late-term abortion, ripping babies straight from the mother's womb, right up until the moment of birth. And that is why I've asked Congress to prohibit extreme late-term abortion, because Republicans believe that every child is a sacred gift from God. Democrats are now the party of high taxes, high crime, open borders, late-term abortion, socialism, and blatant corruption. Look at what's happening to their cities. Los Angeles, it's so sad. What you see is so sad with the homeless and the way they don't take care of the homeless. San Francisco, you could take it starting in New York. You could take a look at what's happening to our cities run by Democrats. It's a disaster. They don't know what the hell they're doing. The Republican Party is the party of the American worker, the American family, and the American dream. Republicans are fighting for citizens from every background and from every race, religion, color, and creed. We are asking all Americans to join our incredible movement. That's what it is. It's one of the greatest movements. It's probably the greatest movement in history. The 2016 election was probably, I mean, you could say the greatest election in the history of our country. And now we have to do it again to keep it going. It's like a giant tree. You plant it, but it takes time to grab on. We need this next election so badly. The good news is it's much easier, because here I've done it all. I've achieved more than I promised. I never told you about Space Force. We got Space Force. I never told you about all of these things that we got. We are a big tent party in the true idea. It's big ideas, and we have a big future together. This country has tremendous potential if we don't blow it. To give former prisoners a second chance at life, we passed bipartisan criminal justice reform. They came to me, they couldn't get it done, including many conservatives. And these people that I fight every day, they came to me, help, 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 criminal justice reform. I got it done. As soon as I got it done, they don't even want to mention my name. I got it done. I got people to vote for it that they could have never gotten. President Obama tried, he couldn't get it done. President Bush couldn't get it done. They couldn't get it done. That's okay. They couldn't get it done. I got it done. I got it done. And after I got it done, and I mean solely got it done, and after I got it done, they have news conferences. They're thanking people that I never even heard of. The only one they didn't thank was President Trump, and I got it done. But that's the way it is. That's why I always say you have to thank yourself, because nobody else is going to do it. And we're fighting to give school choice to every child in America who needs it. During National School Choice Week, we reaffirmed that no parent should be forced to send their child to a failing government school. School choice. Very important. Democrats don't want that. To uphold the rule of law, we have confirmed 191 brand new, beautiful federal judges who will interpret the Constitution as written. And 2 great Supreme Court justices. 2 great ones. As we rebuild our military, we have authorized over $160 million to support our warriors at a place called McGuire Air Force Base and Fort Dix. Have you ever heard of those places? Have you ever heard of those places, New Jersey? $160 million. 2 great places. I recognized Israel's true capital and opened the American embassy in Jerusalem. And we recognized Israeli sovereignty over the Golan Heights. Nobody else was going to do it. They've been trying to do that one for 52 years. For years, you watched as your politicians apologized for America. Now you have a president who is standing up for America, and we are standing up for the people of New Jersey, my friends. At stake in our present battle is the survival of our nation. I really mean that. It's the survival of our nation. And if you would have had the other party winning this last election, instead of your market being up 72%, instead of your 401ks being up numbers that you can't even believe, where your wife or your husband says, darling, you're the most brilliant person in history. For years, you've been losing your ass with 401ks. Now you're making a fortune, right? Right? Now you're making a fortune. I have people coming up to me all the time. I had one gentleman come up, sir. Thank you, sir. You've made me look so smart. My wife never respected me for anything, not anything. But now she thinks I'm a great investor. Thank you. 401k. If you want your children to inherit the blessings that generations of Americans have fought and died for to secure, then we must devote everything that we have toward victory in 2020. We have to. And by the way, when we talk about inheriting victory in 2020 in our nation, just so you understand, under our big tax cut, biggest tax cut plan in history, guess what you have? You have a business, you have a farm, you have a small business, no more inheritance tax, no more what we call death tax. Right? So if you love your children, they won't have to mortgage the plant. They won't have to mortgage the farm, as the expression goes. They won't have to mortgage anything. There's no tax. If you don't love your children, don't leave it to them, and then you do have a problem. No, I'm all okay. Does anybody here not love their child or their children? Because if you don't, there's one man raising his head. No, that's a big thing. No more estate tax, no more death tax for your small farms and businesses. Those are things that people don't even realize. Only this way can we save the America we love and drain the Washington swamp once and for all. And I never even knew the swamp was this bad. Swamp is bad. Bad people. A lot of bad people in the swamp. Bad people in the swamp. We got a lot of bad people in that swamp, those swamp creatures they call them. They are all over. But step by step, we got it. You thought this was going to be easy, right? A lot of bad people. With your help, we will lift millions of our citizens from welfare to work, dependence to independence, and from poverty to prosperity. That's what's happening in our country. Together, we will elect a Republican Congress to create a fair, safe, sane, and lawful system of immigration. That's what's happening now. We will enact trade deals, the greatest deals ever made, that result in more product, proudly stamped with that beautiful phrase, made in the USA. Beautiful phrase. For decades, we had politicians that didn't care about that phrase. That phrase didn't mean anything to them. We will achieve new breakthroughs in science and medicine, finding new cures for childhood cancer, and ending the AIDS epidemic, can you believe this, in America in 10 years or less. We've already started the process, and it could have been started sooner by the past administration. They chose not to do it. I chose to do it. Think of that, ending the AIDS epidemic within 10 years that we've started. We will defend privacy, free speech, religious liberty, and the right to keep and bear arms, which is under siege. By the way, our Second Amendment is under siege. In Virginia, they want to take your guns away. It's just the beginning. Never going to happen as long as I'm President of the United States, that I can tell you. But above all, we will never stop fighting for the sacred values that bind us together as one America. We support, protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States. We stand with the incredible heroes of law enforcement. We believe in the dignity of work and in the sanctity of life. We believe that faith and family, not government bureaucracy, are the true American ways. And we believe that children should be taught to love our country, honor our history, and to always respect our great American flag. And we will always live by the words of our national motto, "In God we trust." Thank you, everybody. Thank you very much, everybody. From Morristown to Vineland, and Patterson to Pennington, from Camden to Clifton, all the way down the shore to Ocean City, and Sea Isle, and Stone Harbor, and right here in Wildwood, New Jersey. This has always been the home of the proud, loyal, and very, very incredible Americans and my friends. So many people in this group, I know them well. They're tough, they're smart, they're great people. It's called Jersey. This is the state that pioneered the boardwalk, the diner, and the motion picture, and gave the world American greats like Thomas Edison and Frank Sinatra, old blue eyes, right? Frank Sinatra. He was a piece of work. New Jersey is the state where George Washington led a die-hard band of American patriots to victory at Trenton and Princeton and Monmouth in our glorious battle to win American independence, George Washington. This is the state where generations of tough and strong New Jersey craftsmen and dockers, farmers and factory workers built this country into the single greatest nation on the face of the earth, and we are making it greater and greater every day. It will never be better than what's coming. There'll never be anything like what we're doing. Proud citizens like you help build this country, And together, we are taking back our country. We are returning power to you, the American people. With your help and your devotion, with your drive, we are going to keep on working. We are going to keep on fighting. And we are going to keep on winning, winning, winning. We are one movement, one people, one family, and one glorious nation under God. America is thriving like never before. And ladies and gentlemen of New Jersey, place I love, the best is yet to come. Because together we will make America wealthy again. We will make America strong again. We will make America proud again. We will make America safe again. And we will make America great again. Thank you, New Jersey. Thank you. Thank you.